Start recording emergency video. The display is off.
Xiaomi's subsidiary 70mi is back with the Pro version. What's new and what's more than the first generation? Well, the international version is already here, and the updates are quite many. There are a few tech pieces which have sentimental value to me, and the first generation of this dash camera actually is one of those. It was kind of a year ago when the channel was still smaller, I was younger, less subscribers, less viewers, and still the review of the 70mi G1 was among the most successful I've ever had. I really hope the second generation is going to echo this success, and a huge thanks to 70mi's development team for providing this sample test. I gotta warn you, because most likely at the moment you're asking yourself, why does that guy still talk? Well, just want to warn you that you're going to see the Chinese packaging of this one, but it has the international version. It's just that at the moment we're filming this video, the international packages are still under production, so that's something you wouldn't be able to see, nor we would see the features of the GPS, because again, the international version is not ready yet, but that will be here soon. Everything else about this new precious dashcam about to follow. Let's go! Similar to the original version, there is a release for China, which will appear on AliExpress, GearBest and so on, and the international release, which is initially funded via a huge Indiegogo campaign and will eventually make its way to the already mentioned shops at a likely higher price. Now, let's do what we do best here, inspecting cool tech. Packaging is comparable to last year's 70mi, black box with space utilization brought to the possible maximums. You are going to like what you see, and I'm happy to say it looks like it is finally a trend to get a separate USB cable and a dual-port charger. One of the most common issues is finally solved. If you keep your car lighters busy with a dash cam, where are you supposed to charge your smartphone from? Well, 70mi got you covered with this adapter. This is how the dashcam looks like. Size is bigger because of the added screen, not touch, which I so much appreciate. The button navigation feels so natural that you don't even need to get used to it. Simple, clean, menus are tidy, only the necessary stuff. We can see the obvious differences on the outside, and now let's move on to the inside. I'm not gonna disassemble, and even without doing so, we know Huawei chipset, the high silicon 3556, the same one is powering the ultra-popular lite action camera. The sensor is severely upgraded to IMX335 by Sony. It's a 5 megapixel sensor, which is among the newest used in dash cameras, and 70mi Pro is one of the first on the market featuring this technology. For something that new, it seems to be adopted pretty well. Resolution support is up to 1944p, which is a little weird, but let's say 1440p, which is in 16:9 ratio, is there from these that you know better. And of course we have Full HD, which is still the industry standard. MicroSD card support goes as high as 64GB. The hardware is apparently high grade. Let's see now how it works in real life, and of course, let's discuss the software goodies. Parking mode is available. To use it, you need hard wiring. I'll tell you, I know a lot about action cameras and any kind of smart tech, but car wiring is something I've never done until recently. It turns out to be quite easy, just purchase a fuse-based hard wiring kit and you're all set. I will use the hard wire from another dashcam that was recently tested here, the DD-Pi Mini 3, and I will need just one of the wires. Everything that you need to do is to find a fuse which supplies power when the engine is off. Depends on the car model, could be the light inside the car or your radio if it works offline. Just think about the setup that you know and figure out which device that would be. Then simply locate the fuse, and very often they are marked on the fuse cover, just take it out. It's time to take the fuse, place the assembly on the slot that you've just freed up, and it's all done. The remaining part is finding a discreet way to bring the wire to the dashcam. It literally may take just a few minutes. The parking mode is of course optional, but nice to have. Another addition to the firmware is the wide dynamic range, giving slight improvement of the footage. There also is voice controls, improved night vision performance, and advanced driver assistance system. I'm still about to test the ADAS implementation because it requires GPS module, which I don't have yet, and is still being tested at the time of making this video. The ADAS technology can be very helpful to avoid collisions, to park easily, or just to get warning as soon as you're unattendedly about to leave the lane. On theory sounds good and sort of explains the powerful chipset that is inside this little beast. A good idea to check which are the voice commands, and I'm gonna be reading here because I can't remember them by heart. You have 4 of them, like take picture,
Photo taken.
record video,
Start recording emergency video.
turn off screen,
The display is off.
turn on screen,
The display is on.
take picture.
Photo taken.
Well, that's it. Pretty simple, you just need to memorize them. I guess you can stamp them somewhere nearby to know them by heart, or just use the buttons. Before letting you watch more footage, here is the app, an enhancement of the 70mi app. It is now upgraded to support the Pro and gives you similar controls to those that you couldn't adjust via the buttons. Unlike the first generation, there's no need to go through crazy smartphone setups. To those of you that don't know much about the original 70mi, well, you have to configure it via the app prior to start your first recording. With the Pro version, the app is more of a companion rather than a must, meaning that the dashcam can exist independently. As for installation, takes literally a few minutes. Yeah, I already had the wiring for another dashcam, but even if you need to install and hide the cable, it won't slow you down too much. Note that the sticker used is of high quality and is heat resistant. It won't soften if the temperature outside gets high and the car is in direct sunlight. Which reminds me to tell you that the maximum operating temperature is 60 degrees Celsius, and if it is hotter, the dashcam simply won't work. Also, the way it is being installed places the Pro much closer to the windshield as opposed to its predecessor, and this will reduce any reflections coming from the glass, and even dirt won't be that noticeable. And you are now the jury for the footage, and feel free to share your verdict in the comments below. If wondering about my opinion, I like what I see. Usually second generations tend to be a huge fiasco, definitely not for the 70mi Pro. Kind of twice more in terms of price, and in return you get a nice display with super easy to use function buttons, upgraded hardware including sensor, chipset and lens, better mount mechanism, smarter functions, and an upgrade possibility, adding a hard wire for parking monitoring and GPS for enabling ADAS. For just $69 in US currency. This is quite tempting. Looks like at this very moment, That could be the perfect balance between price, build quality and features. Before hopping on the next video, don't forget to subscribe, comes for free with a lot of additional extras. Liking and sharing the video greatly helps me to be happier and to bring you more cool tech inspections. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.